some great conversation there. I was told if you drove here and you need a parking validation ticket, to go see the front desk, and they will take care of you there. So keep that in mind if you are driving away here from today. So we'll bring up the next panel here, talking about how loyalty is the new democratized currency. And we'll bring up the moderator, Larry Berlin, who is the founder of Blue Point Advisory Services. Sounds good. I've known Larry for a very long time, so he's always a good listen. So
it's good to see you.
Yeah, same here.
Well, I see you with the light over there.
Yeah.
Our speakers are probably on, so.
Good to know.
Yeah. You don't need a political moment.
No.
I like the picture. Gideon looks real serious.
Oh, our future.
Yeah. Gideon needs to come up, or we can get started. Hey, Gideon? Oh, there you are.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Before I
Better to stand than to sit.
Image, a picture.
I think this way when I'm writing and I'm doing this, you won't see what I'm writing. I'm used to trading on an exchange, so I'm used to projecting my voice. So if I get loud, I'm sorry. It's my youth coming out of my not so youth. First of all, I'm going to welcome all of you and thank you all for coming and listening to us. We are going to change the topic. We're not going to be talking about cryptocurrencies per se, or transactions, or merchant acquirers, or ISOs, or any of those wonderful topics, all of which we're all familiar with. And we're going to move over to something that's very important towards loyalty. And I'm going to do a quick introduction, and then I'll introduce Gideon and Chelsea, and we'll move from there. We're going to talk about loyalty. We all are involved with loyalty. We all have loyalty programs. A lot of our companies work with loyalty. I just looked it up to see what the first loyalty program is in the world. And it was from 1793. It was called the Copper Company, and they gave copper tokens for loyalty, for whatever it was. Obviously, that's progressed a lot. Some of you are old enough like me to remember S&H green stamps, which were a big loyalty program. And we went to Webolt's in Chicago because they gave them away and bought products. And then we got a barbecue pit to it. Same idea. 1981, American Airlines started the first of our current loyalty programs, and they'd had a strike, I believe, at that point. There'd been a shutdown because the air traffic controllers had been on strike, actually, if we all remember President Reagan and PATCO. And they thought they'd bring people back by offering points for miles flown, and then you can redeem them. And all of us, I'm sure, have taken vacations somewhere nice due to those loyalty points. And I could ask, and I'm not going to ask, where have you used loyalty points to go to? That'd probably be a great first question. But we all have them now. There are, the average person, I printed out some stats, and there are 1,715 loyalty programs that are point-based in the United States today. 29% offer rewards from partners. The average person belongs to 14.8% programs today. I think I probably belong to about 20, so I helped that average out a little bit. And they're only active, though, in 6.7 of the 14.8 to which they belong to. There's over $100 billion of loyalty points outstanding, and those do count as a debit on your balance sheet if you're a company, and those are important to companies. 90% of retailers right now are thinking about how to enhance or improve or expand their loyalty programs. Looking at things like partnerships, how to get people more active, how to use points better, how to give you points so when you're shopping or stay at a Hilton or a Sheraton, or a Westin, you can get and use your points immediately for the hotel. And a couple other quick stats. 65% of a company's business comes from existing customers, i.e. people who belong to the loyalty program. And 43% of people spend more money at stores they have loyalty programs with. This makes it important to everybody, I think, in this room, whether you're in small business, large business, a bank, a financial technology company, even a crypto company. It matters. I have a friend who had started one of the larger brokerage companies. It mattered for him. So that is the groundwork for where we're going to go here to discuss loyalty programs today and tomorrow. And we have a couple of great experts, and I'll skip with introducing myself. You don't need, I'm with Larry, and I'm going to ask Chelsea and Gideon to A, introduce themselves and give us a quick brief on them and their company, and B, my intro question is not what your walk-on song is, that was done this morning, but who would you most like to have lunch with in history? And then after they give theirs, I'll tell you who mine is. So Chelsea, would you like to get started?
Sure, yeah. My name's Chelsea King. I am the Channel Development Manager with Value Tech. We are a gift and loyalty company under the greater FIS organization. I think I'd like to have lunch with Robin Williams.
Oh, cool. Great choice. And Gideon?
Okay, I'll first start with the politically correct answer. I would rather have lunch with my wife. And then I introduce myself. I am the Chief Technology Officer for Bitmint. Bitmint is originally a high-end cybersecurity company. We specialize in what I say, like the high-end, quantum-resistant security, etc. And we apply this technology to digital currency, which for some reason, good or bad, the people that are most excited about it are the Chinese. They bought our technology. The Bank of Shanghai has implemented it. And it is really quantum resistant and has the ability to control the privacy. Of course, the Chinese have zero privacy, but it's controllable. So we apply this technology, which I think has a future because the threat of quantum computers is there and it's serious, and because people don't understand it, they ignore it. In fact, in China, in the PBOC, in the equivalent of the Fed, they said, we don't understand how someone builds a new digital system, loyalty or otherwise, that is oblivious to the threat of quantum attack, which will just disrupt everything, all the blockchain, everything else. So that's a good question, and I wonder myself. The reason that I'm here on the loyalty is that we figured out a way, and we started it also, not in China, in Hong Kong, to take the advantage that we have in developing digital currency technology and apply it to loyalty. So now loyalty can be carried out with all the buzz and the frictionless and the security parameters of digital money with an enormous advantage. Everything that you hear about smart contract can be terms of redemption, of how to redeem those loyalty money. and loyalty money can be distributed. I can give you $100 loyalty money, and if you distribute it to someone else, it becomes a new client, I reward you. And I can track the fact that you gave the money from your phone to the phone of someone else and brought me a new customer. These are new capabilities that that's what I'm trying to convey here, to use the newly developed digital money technology and apply it to loyalty. And one of the advantages is that it will reduce the amount of start initiation cost for a loyalty program. So every mom and pop store will be able to sign up to the service and have their loyalty money. They can email to the customers or do with it what they want with the security that is associated with digital money. So loyalty has a big future. And I have one more thing that is really stunning about loyalty that really takes your breath away when you think about it. And that is to do something that's never done in loyalty. Loyalty is one way. Let's say a gift card. You give $100, you get the gift card. You cannot give the gift card to the store and get back your $100. Now, what if you could? What if a store will sell you a gift card and we will buy it back for the money? This act makes the gift card into cash equivalent, especially if the store is like a Walmart that you trust. So now if I go to a restaurant and I get a bill for $80 and I have $100 from Walmart, I say to the restaurant, take $80. That's Walmart money, but you can instantly turn it to cash or buy something at Walmart. So first of all, it makes this loyalty money reside longer in the wallets of the consumers. While you, the store, you have the money and with all the interest that it develops. So this simple idea, which goes against the basic thinking of gift card and loyalty, of making it reversible, can revolutionize not only loyalty, but payment as a whole. But it takes reorientation of your thinking to understand the revolutionary aspect of it.
Cool. Thank you, Gideon.
That's a long introduction, but that's it.
Cool.
But the only line that got laugh is the line about my wife. I will tell her.
Yeah, I like that. Well, it's a great way to start out. And certainly lunch with your wife would be a lot better probably than my choice, which would be Winston Churchill. So, but I'm on the board of the Churchill
Well, my
Society.
wife looks better than Winston Churchill.
Yes, those people do. Or most people did. But I'm on the board of the Churchill Society, so I get to say that and have to say that. Chelsea, I would go with what Gideon began with, and because your business and the business of value tech is much more today, in a sense. Where do you see the customers at, and what do you see as their complaints or what their positive aspects are that you see from the current loyalty programs? And are you looking at large or small customers? I'm adding a lot onto that question for you. Sorry about that.
No, sure. I think that what Gideon said is, that's where we're going. I think that, we just heard about how payments are constantly evolving and growing, and I think that's where loyalty is going. I think we're at an interesting point with loyalty right now where, it's used to be thought of so traditionally of a point program or a punch card and things like that, and we're now seeing it become digitalized, either in crypto or in wallets, and I think that we're going to consistently see that growing. I think the second piece of that is that, big box retailers are doing it constantly now. I don't know the last time I went to a Starbucks where I wasn't asked if I had, a gift card or their loyalty app to, add my points to, or when you get text messages constantly. So I think we're moving from that idea of loyalty as a nice to have to a loyalty as a need to have. We're seeing that with the big box retailers, and I think where we'll see that going is making that scalable to those small mom and pops, so that they can do the same. And again, I think it's either in a traditional sense or moving into more of a digitalized sense of loyalty. But I do think it's going to continue to be seen across the boards in businesses of all sizes, big and small.
And if anyone has any questions, I'm looking out and all the lights in my eyes, you can yell out and we're happy to answer your questions rather than mine. Question for you, because you both just hit on this topic of bringing it down to this mom and pops and smaller businesses. What do you see is needed, Chelsea and then Gideon, to bring it to the small mom and pops? What are they going to be looking for that you can provide or that you should provide?
Sure. I mean, from my perspective, I think that understanding your customer is key. I think that, we talk about loyalty, we talk about all these things in the payments world that as payment professionals, we completely understand and see the value in. But that's not, at the merchant level, that's not their expertise. So I think part of it is educating around what makes a loyalty program work for your business. What Domino's is doing might not work for, Joe's Pizza down the street. So I think a big part of it is going to be, us going to them to educate, what makes a loyalty program successful and easy to use so it actually becomes profitable. I think that's going to be the key in getting it into those small mom and pops from our side.
Well, the way we see it, the biggest problem for the small shops is the burden of security. There is an enormous amount of fraud with coupons. And when you use technology which is easy to crack, many stores have lost a lot of money by fake coupons, especially if it's paper or non-digital. And to build a secure system is cost prohibitive for a small guy. So the idea is to do loyalty money as a service. The service will ensure that the security is there, that the digital coupon is as secure as a digital dollar, and the store will just sign up and for the service and get those loyalty money in the digital form. Then they will be able to email them to customers or to prospects. And when they come to be redeemed, the redemption is done through the service that makes sure that this coupon is properly redeemed and not double redeemed. That will take this burden off mom and pop store. They will just pay for the service. And then they will use their imagination and creativity to whom they want to give it, how they want to distribute it. And it can be done by printing the coupon on a card with a QR code and giving it to people. There's a lot of things that you can do once it's digital. The way I see the basic advantage, especially for a small business, is the idea that you can email to someone's phone loyalty money and tell them, if you distribute this to others, the more you distribute it and more people come to us with fraction of this loyalty money, the more we will reward you with a bonus. So you incentivize your customers to bring their acquaintances, their friends, into your store. The other advantage that digital loyalty can do for you is easily to get a coalition money. So 2 or 3 stores will get together to have one coupon that can be redeemed in either store, and then the accounting is done in the back end. That's very important, especially for shopping centers that are struggling to attract customers. All the shops in the shopping center will be a coalition of loyalty money, which you can email to people that you know where they live and tell them, don't go to the big shopping center, you will buy cheaper without a line right here. So this flexibility is dramatic. And you heard about smart contract. The technology of smart contract can be applied to loyalty money. So we are talking with a store, especially we had some discussion in big European stores. They have, most of the people are buying to shop in the afternoon. They want to drive traffic in the morning. They issue loyalty money that's valid until noon. Afterwards, you cannot use it. So people come in. There are loyalty money that's valid only if you come physically. Others, only if you buy online. You can attach any term to the loyalty money because it has a unique digital signature which allows for this revolution that people don't appreciate. Because it has a unique digital signature, I can attach to it cryptographically any conditions that I want. I wrote a book called Tethered Money, T-E-T-H-E-R-D, tethered. I don't pronounce it right because of my Israeli accent, so I'm sorry. But that's the name of the book that talks about this, the power of taking money, loyalty or otherwise, that has a unique identity, not just a number. Today, you have a bank account, there is a number there, $1,000, no identity. Digital money has an identity, and you can latch to it any logical terms of use and redemption or whatever. That is a revolution that few appreciate what a change it will impact. And that's why I see an enormous new era in the loyalty business. Every store will compete with others with their creativity and how they manage their customers with incentives through the loyalty money. It will be universal.
And Charles, let me ask you a couple things here that come out of his comments. The first thing is, these are wonderful products, and we need them. But you can't just build it and they will come. As you guys are working towards 2023 and 24 and 25, what do you see that you have to, how do you see yourself selling to either a small merchant, a large merchant, or not even a merchant, a bank or United Airlines, so we go back, that are in your customer base soon? Does that question make sense in reality or just my head?
No, I mean, I think it goes back to just that education piece. I don't necessarily see that traditional loyalty will ever go away. You know, I think that there are some instances where that will work, and I think there's some instances where businesses will need digitalized loyalty, either crypto or otherwise. And I think getting that out to the masses, you know, that's kind of on us. I don't think, you know, merchants, payments isn't their world. I think from our side, we want our merchants, you know, we want to, you know, focus on 3 factors, you know, attain, retain, and grow. And I think that's what merchants are looking to do with their customers as well. So if we can find a niche that works on both of those pieces, then I think we've solved the key to a successful loyalty program.
Cool. And then as we've changed, yesterday someone was talking about the change in form factors for payments, and they've changed as I use my Apple phone. How, as we change from a form factor of walking to a store, for example, we're now on the internet. How does it differ? Because I can't sell to a merchant in a shopping market, as Gideon pointed out, that's great. And yes, only 18% of shopping is online, but assumably that's going to grow. How does it differ when we go to a store, when someone's selling through Amazon or through another third party? And what do you have to do for that?
You know, I think that is, again, that's why traditional loyalty will still be around. I think that COVID and just the growth of e-commerce has kind of lost some of that in-person gratification that you get of that buying experience. So, we want to encourage that still and bring that back and kind of get past this only being online piece of things. So I think you want to have a program that's going to correlate both in-store and online. Maybe you're using online exclusives, but then that's driving in-store business. So I think there's a number of different ways that you can utilize an online program that's still driving that foot traffic.
Gideon, does that tie with your view of the future?
Yeah, it reminds me of the debate. For 50 years, everybody says that cash is dead. Well, it's still around. The same with loyalty. As much as I talk about all this digital beauty that is coming, there is what you said, the customer experience. They like to take this piece of paper that they just cut from the paper, from the newspaper, and submit it and get the discount. And I see the customers with books of those cutouts. And that's a user experience. They don't want to give it up. So this will stay. But as the old generation passes, the more people will use it in a digital. And it's amazing. If you look what's happening in China, which is much ahead of us in payment, unfortunately, but it is. The phone is where in one location, they have the loyalty money, the digital money, and the system automatically first pays the loyalty if it applies, and then the real cash. And so you manage your daily life through the phone, and you don't carry the papers anymore. But that's for the young ones. The old Chinese, they still count the money. They wet their finger and count the money.
Like my grandpa, who was Russian. Let me ask you then, pardon?
Yeah.
Please.
So what do you think about loyalty and with the new technology coming up like blockchain? And do you see any training there to merge all those loyalty program and be transformed from one to the other easily? Because I'm a consumer, I'm using it, but it's always like we have so many loyalty programs. One for each vendor, right? Walmart or Amazon is one, Delta is one, and American Express, and everybody has one loyalty. But how can for me, I would like to see my loyalty become interchangeable, become money and can flow.
Yes. And that's exactly what I try to deliver. If companies will issue loyalty money that will be reversible, that they will say, you give us back, we'll give you cash. Then it becomes like a de facto fiat currency. And that means that all the loyalty money can be interchangeable because they all can be changed back to dollars. So if I have $100 from Best Buy and I want a Walmart, I click and it changes to regular dollars and then I buy the Walmart dollars. So I can easily change. All this requires digital money technology. Blockchain is one way. There are people who talk about speculative loyalty. I don't see for this a future, but maybe my mind is too narrow. I see digital money, non-speculative, with the security, with the cryptographic security that we can attach to the digital money. That will be the future. Whether blockchain or something like what we are selling, I don't know what will be the future. But digital, with the security that you will trust somebody giving you a digital string, trust it that it's really worth $100 and give him $100. It has to be really secure. So the security, once the security is solved, and I think that we are there already, new doors are opened for loyalty, and like I said, for coalition or for exchange. It's just a matter of just realizing that with enough imagination, we can do things that we couldn't think of doing before.
Chelsea, do you have any thoughts on that? Or is Gideon covered it pretty well for us?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I like the idea. I also think that we, take into account that a lot of businesses use loyalty for different reasons. Some might need it for specifically tracking points to, reach whatever it is going to be that customer is working towards. But some might use it just for, their own marketing initiatives and things that they're planning to see, what is customer buying behavior. I think something we'd even talked about was using it for education. Are they using a loyalty program to get out educational messages? So I think both make sense to me. I think that an overall loyalty program that you can use and track in total is great, but I also think that there are those, ones that individual businesses are running to better improve your experience in the future.
Thank you.
Also, you will get a lot of clarity. Just one more.
Please.
Right now, in many places, there is such a complicated arrangement. The other day, I tried to pass some of my miles to my son. I had to call United and spend an hour there, and they said, oh, this is not qualified, this qualified, oh, this was an international flight, he has a domestic flight. I don't know what I have. I have nice numbers. Now, all this will be resolved, and it's digital because it's encoded clearly and unequivocally to the loyalty money. What are the terms? They'll say, this is only good if you fly to Orlando. Okay, it's written. I don't have to spend 3 hours with somebody from Manila that barely speaks English and try to explain to me what this coupon is. It's encoded. The clarity is another advantage. Yeah, I disrupted some question. Yeah.
No, please, back there.
Yeah.
Hi, super interesting. I would disagree that in China, without WeChat, you can't even take a subway, even if you are 102. They are way beyond what we're doing here.
Absolutely, yeah.
What do you feel about wealth creation loyalty and gamification of loyalty? Because everybody gives you cashback, 1% cashback, 2% cashback, this mile, those miles. There is a large portion of the consumer who could not care less about a 1%. But then they're giving a fractional share of target, and that motivates them to spend more. Or they have a gamification program on that loyalty where it's not just about gaining those points, but going through different stages of what it is, a rewarding experience. How do you feel like compared to the old school loyalty of like, hey, here's points, use it somewhere else, and you make some money, to hey, here's points, now you own a fractional amount of company that you patronize all, that you work, that you buy from all the time.
I would begin that actually in terms you guys.
Well, that's
I guess we'll begin it.
That's a little bit off the loyalty, but it's one of the dramatic applications of digital money is that you can share equity in any asset in a fractional quantity and give it as a reward. If I understood right your question. And so this can be done with the technology of today. And we work with some real estate companies that want to raise money for building a shopping center by saying, we will eventually sell the shopping center on an auction, and you will invest in buying 1 to 100,000 of the shopping center, and whatever money comes, you will get the cash when it is sold. So you can do it with technology. You can buy a claim check for a piece of real estate and use it as a way of raising money or generating wealth.
But I'm talking about, like, do you feel that the old school rewards are going to be at some point like Wi-Fi, a generation change, and they want different things, and maybe that 1% of cashback is no longer fulfilling, and then we will have to go to new technologies and new ways to engage these customers?
The way I see it is that the main desire that we hear from merchant is that they would like the loyalty in order to manage their customers, their behavior. Tell them what they like them to buy, stuff that doesn't go fast enough, what hours to shop, and how to increase their customers base. That's the old objectives which I see would last for some time.
And Gideon, I'd like to hear, we're at the end of our time, but I would love to hear Chelsea's answer to that question as we conclude today.
Yeah, I don't know if that is going to be the exact route that it goes, but I completely understand and agree that the old, way of loyalty may not continue to work for generations to come, and it will have to evolve. And I don't know if that will end up looking more as like your points are actually acquiring you a piece of that business, but I think we'll have to evolve just like payments will to stay relevant. Because, if a loyalty program, a business invests in it and it's all bright and shiny, but none of their customers adapt to it, it's pretty pointless. So I think anything's possible.
I would finish up by saying I think you'll see them more and more already. You see companies like Robinhood probably will be doing that soon. The old Ameritrade, which is now Schwab, would probably do something like that soon to help you with ownership. And I saw lots of ads in the bank, on the plane here, for banks doing things like that. So I think you hit it right on the head. That's the future.
Yeah, there's a few options in the West Coast that are partnering up with Walmart, Target, Adidas, Nike, and you buy through them and you get this fractional and it's better than cash back for a future purchase and they give buy more.
Yes. Yes. I want to, first of all, thank all of you for coming and listening to us this afternoon. And I hope you've learned something. It's something a little bit different than, it's not a just, but then money and money transfer, because that's a huge part of my heart, but loyalty is also. And I want to thank Chelsea and Gideon for adding so much to our knowledge base in such a short period of time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.